Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It is time for a book review. Now I have been talking about doing this book review for a while and I'm finally getting around to it. Stay tuned to the end of the video because there will also be a giveaway because I am finally reviewing Armada by Ernest Cline and I have two copies of this. Both are signed. One of them is signed to me and then this one, let me find the right page. Still the wrong page. This one is just generically signed and this is the copy that you will be winning if you win this giveaway, so stay tuned for details at the end of the video. But now let's get into my review. So first, what is this story actually about? So this is the story of Zach Lightman, and he is just an average teenage boy who lives in Beaverton, Oregon, and he has been playing this video game his whole life just because he really likes video games, and they are sort of a connection to his father who died when he was young, and so he has always sort of followed in his dad's footsteps because his dad was a big gamer and has played a lot of video games his whole life, but specifically this one video game. And one day he is sitting in class and sees an alien ship, and shortly thereafter he finds out that this game that he has been playing his whole life is actually a training program for the US military, and then it spirals from there. So the world building in this book is slow. I mean, it's set in our world, so there's not a ton of world building that has to happen up front, but later on we enter into a world that is within our world but also something new, and there was, I don't know, I felt like it could have been better explained and better detailed, and it was basically like the way that they explained certain new aspects that were introduced in new locations was to basically say it in terms of the video game, but since it's not a real video game and we haven't actually seen it, there are definitely plot holes, I guess, or, you know, things that we can't imagine quite as well as they're being described. Like, they're not being described well enough for us to really see it, which I thought was a shame because I feel like in Ready Player One he does that really well, and in this one I just thought that certain parts of the world building were a little flat. And while the characters were interesting to me, and some of the ones we meet later on I liked a lot, I also felt like there was no real character development. I don't feel like really that Zach changes at all throughout the book. I mean, he has a few sort of character moments that are inevitable given where the plot goes, but at the same time I feel like from beginning to end he's the same teenage boy throughout the whole thing. So there wasn't a whole lot of character development. It really is a plot driven story, so if you are looking for character development or world building, then this probably isn't going to be the book for you. Now, I mentioned briefly that I thought that the world building and character building was not as good as Ready Player One, and I will say Ready Player One did not have the most, like, the characters weren't super interesting and didn't really develop all that much, but there were things about Ready Player One that I felt like went into the characters' stories a little better than this one did. So I do want to talk a little bit about how this compares to Ready Player One, because I think that's what a lot of you are probably wondering who read Ready Player One and are thinking, should I pick this book up? I would say that it's not an automatic yes, it's not an automatic no. So the things about this that speak to Ready Player One fans, there's a lot of pop culture references. These pop culture references are rooted more in video games and sci-fi movies, so if you are into video games, if you're into sci-fi movies, then this will make a lot of sense to you. My husband really liked it for those reasons because he could get all of the references in this book, even more so than in Ready Player One, because it was stuff that he spent his childhood watching and playing and being interested in. So I think that speaks to Ready Player One fans because of all that pop culture stuff. But with Ready Player One, I feel like it was more fast-paced. It was a page-turner. You were really excited to find out, and it just was something that you couldn't predict where it was going, whereas this one I felt like was very predictable, and from the beginning I sort of had an idea of where it might go. Now the ending was not necessarily what I thought it was going to be, and if I'm being honest without having any spoilers whatsoever, I thought the ending was kind of hokey, and I wasn't a really big fan of how it ended. Now that doesn't mean I didn't like the book, because I did. I really enjoyed reading it, and I like Ernest Cline's style of writing. I find it really easy to read, and so that aspect of it is still there. His writing style is true to his, you know, form, and I think that if you like him for his writing style and the pop culture references, then you're going to enjoy this. Probably not as much as Ready Player One, but I think you will still enjoy it. This is also going to be made into a movie, and I honestly think it's probably going to make a better movie than book, because like I said, there were some things that I couldn't really see as clearly as I will be able to see when it is a movie. So there's that. But overall, I really enjoyed it, and I would recommend anybody who liked Ready Player One to at least pick it up and give it a chance. I know a lot of people have DNF'd this book, but I think if you can get past a certain point, then you will enjoy it. I want to say it was like chapter 3 was a little rough for me because it was really in the video game mechanics, but once I got past that and the story started picking up and things started happening, I was interested and I read it really quickly. So I think, again, if you liked Ready Player One, give it a chance. If this is your first time picking up Ernest Cline, wait on this one, read Ready Player One first, because I think that if you start with this, you might not get to Ready Player One because it's not as good. It's not as solid of a read as Ready Player One. Alright, so those are my thoughts on the book. Now to the giveaway. You must be 18 or older or have a parent's permission to enter. You must be a subscriber of this channel, and yes, I will check. And then just leave a comment down below letting me know what your favorite book that you read this year was. I'm looking for recommendations right now, so I would love to hear what books that you really enjoyed this year. And then I will put the dates down below, but it's going to run for 2 weeks, and the actual date range will be in the description bar because I don't know exactly. I want to make sure that it's 2 weeks from when the video goes up. So yes, I hope you guys enter, and again, you will be getting this copy signed by Ernest Cline. I got it signed myself, so it is authentic. And I hope that somebody gets this and really enjoys it, and yeah. Alright, so that is it, and I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and if you read this book, I would love to hear your thoughts on it too. You can leave those in the comments below as well. So yeah, I hope you guys are having a wonderful day, and I will see you next time. Bye!